It's Trafalgar True. Here we go. This is also written by Stephen Cosgrove. It's part of a book series called the Serendipity Books. Far, far away in a time of dreams and make believe, there was a small, curious country called Curium. Curium wasn't much as countries go. A small forest, a medium-sized meadow, and a twisting crystal stream. What made Curium very special was that right in the middle of the meadow lived a most magnificent winged dragon called Trafalgar True. Trafalgar didn't do much from one day to the next. He would sit and quietly watch the world go round. Trafalgar loved every living thing, and watching to him was the same as doing. There he is, there's Trafalgar True. Trafalgar would watch the flock of birds as they flew from tree to tree. He would watch a turtle or two as they crawled across the meadow, but most of all, he loved to watch the furry little creatures called kith and kin. Kith and kin, those are old words for family members. There was a very little difference between a kith and a kin. They both had long, bushy tails and big brown eyes. In fact, the only difference was that Kith's fur was black with a long white stripe down the middle, while the kin's fur was white with a black stripe down the middle. All day, every day, they would skitter about the forest, playing games with one another in the happiest of ways, filling Trafalgar with love for them all. So Kith had the black fur with the long white stripe. This is a Kith. That right there is a Kith, and that one there. And this is the kin, all white with a black stripe. Do you see the difference? It's just the colors. Nothing else is different. Can you see that? Everyone would have been happy to this very day if, early one morning, a piece of the sun had not fallen from the sky and landed right in the middle of Trafalgar's meadow. When the dust had settled, Trafalgar saw the most beautiful sunstone he had ever seen. The morning light danced and glittered from the stone, making everything seem a little brighter. There it is, a piece of the sun on the ground there. I think if it was really a piece of the sun, it would burn right on through. It couldn't have been more than a moment or two before all the kith and kin had gathered around to gaze at the sunstone's beauty. They were oohing and awing at its brilliance when either a kith or a kin pushed someone else to get just a little closer. Soon, kith were pushing kin, and kin were pushing kith. "Quit your pushing," snarled a fuzzy little kin. "Just stand back. In a minute, I'll let you see my stone." "Your stone?" growled the kith. "It landed on our side of the forest. The stone belongs to the kith." And so it went throughout the day, with the kin grumbling, the kith pushing, and Trafalgar watching in disbelief. I've seen that kind of thing happen before. The next day was the same, if not a little worse, as the kith and kin tossed insult after insult at one another. Why, one poor kith was even tripped as he walked down the path. As he picked himself up, he could hear laughter coming from the bushes around him. "Dumb old kith," giggled the hidden kin. "They think the sunstone belongs to them when we all know it belongs to us." Then, laughing and chuckling, off they scampered back to the meadow. Ooh, not good, not good, not good. It's amazing what happens when people get greedy and envious. Trafalgar True sat and watched unnoticed. Where before there was a pleasant little meadow filled with love, there was now nothing but a field of bitterness and jealousy. So saddened was he by this turn of events that large silver tears began to glide gracefully over his snoot, that's his nose, his snoot, and fall softly to the ground. You see Trafalgar, there's a tear. Can you do that? Go sniffle, go. Okay. It wasn't that the kith hated the kin or that the kin hated the kith. It was just that each wanted to own the brilliance of the sunstone, and neither knew how to share. All day long there was pushing and shoving as they tried to be closest to the brilliant stone. The kith became so frustrated That later that very same day they threw a vine over the stone and tried to drag it away. The kin, not to be outdone, threw a vine from the other side, and the two silly groups pulled and tugged for nearly 3 hours before they all collapsed too poop to pop. It's easy to laugh at this, but man, when you see people doing this kind of thing, it really breaks your heart. In fact, they were so tired from all that pushing and pulling that they fell fast asleep right there in the meadow. All that is, save for a baby Ken who stood before the stone and softly cried, "I hate you, Sunstone. You're so pretty, but all you have brought is sadness. I wish you would go back to the sun." No one heard the child except the stone and a silent figure who watched from beneath a tree. Trafalgar, true. Look, there's the baby Ken. And in the background, do you see Trafalgar, true, way back there? A saddened and troubled Trafalgar thought throughout the night. Just before dawn, he knew what he had to do. He quietly flexed his wings once or twice, then gently flew to the magnificent stone. With all his might, he clutched the stone firmly in his arms and began to fly towards the sun as the morning light was just breaking through the trees. There he is. He's picking up the sunstone. I wonder what he's going to do. The morning air, make sure I got the right page. The morning air was filled with a soft sighs as the kith and kin woke from their sleep and gently rubbed their eyes. Oh! Suddenly someone shouted, "It's gone! The kith stone! The kith stole the sunstone!" "No!" cried the kith. "It was the kin!" With that, they began shoving and shouting, and the kin even pulled a kith's tail. There would have been a terrible fight if it had not been for someone who looked up and saw Trafalgar high in the sky. "Look, it's Trafalgar, true! He's got the stone!" There he goes with the stone. There they are looking at him. "Oh no!" cried the baby kin. "Trafalgar is trying to fly the stone back to the sun." As the kith and kin gazed into the sky, they realized what they had done. "But he'll be killed," they moaned. "We've got to stop him." They all looked at one another, trying desperately to think of a way to reach Trafalgar. Suddenly, one furry kith snapped his fingers and said, "I know! We must all shout together with all of our voices united. He will surely hear us." There they are, looking up in the sky. I wonder. Together they formed a circle, and while holding hands, began to shout, "Trafalgar! Trafalgar!" For a moment, it looked as though the plan was going to fail, but then the Trafalgar heard the echo of his name. He slowly turned in the sky and looked down on the creatures below. "You cannot fly to the sun, for if you do, you will surely die," they cried. "Our selfishness and greed has almost destroyed you as well as our friendship. Please come back." Trafalgar smiled softly and then began to glide gently back to the land of Curium. There they are in a circle holding hands. Let's see if we can get another page here. Yeah. From that time forward, Kith and Ken shared alike in the meadows of Curium. They would play around the sunstone in the happiest of the ways, filling Trafalgar with love for them all. There they are playing around the sunstone. There's Trafalgar, happy as can be. So, when it comes to sharing with Kith and Kin or you, remember what you're sharing is the love of Trafalgar true. There you go. It is good to share. Even the Bible tells us it's good to share, not to be greedy and jealous and things like that. What a nice story. Trafalgar true. Okay, that's it. This is it for the week. And so we got the big snowstorm coming here to Oklahoma, and I'll hopefully be back and do this tomorrow, Monday. Bye.